Well, you seem like you're ready for the review today.
In an insane world, a sane woman must appear insane.
It's about time we got to the worst of this franchise.
Or so you think.
Rumor Control, care to give us a summary?
After her last encounter with the xenomorphs and aliens, Ripley crash lands on Fury 161.
A maximum security prison and Weyland-Yutani led processing factory on an abandoned planet. When a series of strange and deadly deaths occur shortly after her arrival, Ripley realizes that she brought along an unwelcome visitor, another xenomorph. This time, there are no guns and no way out, as it seems Ripley herself is impregnated with a queen alien. That's quite the story, Sasha.
Right, EM. It's quite the story. Never heard anything quite like it, Monkey.
Expect not.
However, even though we got this film in 1992, it's been incubating since 1986.
When Sigourney Weaver seemed unlikely to return for a third film, William Gibson of cyberpunk fiction fame wrote the initial treatment. It featured prominently Hicks as our new lead character fighting the xenomorphs on a spaceship and then eventually Earth itself. Though the scripts weren't used, some of the concepts did find their way to the eventual film, such as the barcode tattoos and the hybrid concepts that appeared in Resurrection and Prometheus. So why didn't that version happen?
Typical Hollywood BS and studio interference, of course.
The studio and the attached director at the time, Rennie Harlan, you may know him from Deep Blue Sea, wanted to go with a single condensed film instead of multiples, and were forcing Gibson to do rewrites. But he balked at the idea and left the project. In 1989, Eric Red, of The Hitcher and Near Dark, wrote a script that just killed off everyone from the previous Aliens movies, and started fresh on a farming community on Earth. And well, it's rumored that script was a horrible mess. Then we have the David Bowie take. Why does that name sound so familiar?
You ever see a little movie called Pitch Black? That's essentially what his Alien 3 would have been.
But again, studio interference, and this time Weaver wanting back in on the project. Bowie did try to retool it with a Ripley character, but nothing really came of it. Later on, he just rewrote it entirely, removing the xenomorphs altogether, and it's why we have Riddick today. Yeah, but we also got Chronicles of Riddick out of that.
At least that franchise eventually redeemed itself. But I digress.
Then, in 1990, we had the monks with their wooden space station, gothic horror, religious trappings, and Ripley as the prominent lead. However, at this point, Fox was firm on getting this film out by 1992, and there was little time to get this artsy. That, and the studio execs still had a hard-on for Prisoners versus the Alien since the Pitch Black-esque pitch. So, the idea of space monks and prisoners got married, with Ellen Ripley thrown back in the mix due to the insistence of Weaver. With a rushed release and little creative control, Fox and Seven's David Fincher gave us this film 6 years after Aliens. No wonder it's a mess. They should have made a film out of the making of Alien 3.
No kidding, but there's a lot of good in Alien 3 that people just overlook.
Oh, so you mean there's a director's cut or extended edition?
No, there isn't really a director's cut.
Sure, there's a rough work assembly cut that adds over 30 minutes of content to the overall runtime while changing and intensifying some of the scenes, but Fincher had no part with the true director's cut. This film was so rushed, so under the wire on being released, there was little that Fincher could do to make this film his own. Hell, the script was changed daily, while shooting had already begun. We're lucky the film is as cohesive as it is. Cohesive? That seems a bit of a stretch.
No, really, with all the rewrites from 6 years before and
during the production of the film itself, it could be much worse. In all, we got a new type of alien since it came from a dog in the theatrical version, or an ox if you're watching the work print. They upped the ante by killing off Newt and Hicks within the first couple minutes of the film, which is a good gut punch since Ripley's tale was about loss and sacrifice. They've got a great cast with a lot of British actors and Charles Dance of rock fame of the time. The character he plays, Dylan, is brilliant, almost Oscar-worthy. The prison leadworks factory is a character itself, so alive and so dreary. It's a true, complete circle for the Alien franchise. We get an ending at the close of this film, and it's the logical, grim conclusion, but one with hope. It's a genuine return to horror, it's unsettling, and it pulls no punches. But the real question is here, do you like it?
It's been in my life so long, I can't remember anything else. I know it wasn't the film I wanted to see when I first saw it,
though it came with a sense of closure. Over the years, being a fan, I researched the hell out of it, trying to figure out why the merchandising, like comic books, novelizations, and trading cards, told one story, and the film another. Again, because of all the extensive rewrites during production, and found that I love it for the mess that it is, and what it became regardless. I can understand why Fincher wants no part of it, and yet, how can you abandon your own child?
It's not bad, it's just not the sequel that we wanted or needed. It is sad, but you don't have to get righteously drunk to watch it.
And so, what is your final verdict on this train wreck of a film?
I'd say it's at least half a 40. The other half you can pour out for our dead homie, Alien3.
You're all gonna die. The only question is how you check out. Do you want it on your feet? Or on your fucking knees? Begging. I ain't much for begging. Nobody ever gave me nothing. So I say, fuck that thing. Let's fight it.
One of these days, EM, we're gonna have to get your mechanics fixed.
I could be reworked, but I'll never be top of the line again.
That's okay, EM. We're all a little broken here, but still good. Still good.